My favorite thing about horror movies, or movies in general, is the little fun facts and behind-the-scenes stories. A lot goes into making movies, and for the 2 or 3 hours we're trapped in the cinema or held hostage by our TV screens, we feel like we're experiencing something real, when in reality, it's a piece of fiction. That always amazed me, to be honest. Today, we're going to talk about things that you didn't know about our favorite franchise, Terrifier. Contrary to popular belief, Terrifier did not enter the horror scene in 2016. Art's first aired appearance was in The Ninth Circle in 2008, a short film directed by Damien Leone. The plot of the film features a young woman who is abducted on Halloween night and subjected to unspeakable horrors. David Howard Thornton isn't the first person to play Art the Clown. In fact, he was the 6th person to audition for it. Art the Clown was first portrayed by Mike Gianelli, who is also Leone's best friend. Did you know why David was selected for the role? Though he fit the physical requirement to a T, it was this personal touch in his audition that helped him nail it. Damien Leone even went on to sum up the difference in casting in the following way. Mike may as well have been a guy dressed as a clown, whereas David is a clown. If you know him in person, he is a walking cartoon. He is Roger Rabbit in real life. And you'd never believe that he's Art the Clown, but he knows how to flip the switch and bring it to a dark place. Art's appeal lies in the fact that he does not speak, and yet he manages to convey a world of violence through his actions alone. David Thornton's skill set has a lot to do with it, as he has had previous mime experience. That's why he's such a natural. He also draws inspiration from silent film actors such as Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton. Art's face makeup is similar to Marcel Marceau, who was a legendary mime. Not only that, but Marceau survived the Nazi occupation and saved many children in World War II. He was regarded for his peerless style pantomime, moving audiences without uttering a single word, and was known to the world as a master of silence. The budget for Terrifier is much talked about. Did you know that the first Terrifier film only had a budget of $35,000? Damien Leone himself worked on all the practical effects for the film, and you can see how much work he put in from the scenes alone. The budget for the second Terrifier film was completely crowdfunded by fans who wanted a second film so bad they decided to pay for it. The initial amount for the budget was $50,000, but they managed to accumulate over $200,000. From the success of Terrifier 2, the film earned a whopping $15 million. Did you know the reason Mike Gianelli decided to retire from Art? It's because the makeup for the character alone takes 3 hours to put on. Imagine having to walk around in that for hours every day. I couldn't, really. Another fun fact about the makeup is that the mold used by David is the same one Gianelli used. They reshaped it to fit David's face. It's actually kind of cool. It reminds me of the lore for the Scream mask. The Craven Horror Store, advertised in the scene where Dawn is listening to the radio announcement while waiting for Tara's return, is named after horror legend Wes Craven. Did you know that Jenna Cannell performed their own stunts in Terrifier? I want to take a moment to mention that Jenna uses she, her, and they/them pronouns. Jenna is also a director and has 2 short films to their credit, The Bumblebees and Max and the Monster. On that note, let's move to our second heroine of Terrifier 1, Dawn, played by Catherine Conquerin. Her kill scene captures the essence of the movie. Both Catherine and Damien wanted the kill to look as realistic as possible. Catherine actually hung upside down for it, shackled by her ankles. Since Catherine would start getting dizzy after 30 seconds, she would sit on top of a stepladder, wrapped in a towel. On action, she would remove the towel, and 2 assistants would help lower her into an upside-down position. Her dedication to making this work is truly inspirational. The inspiration for the sawing scene came from the real-life magic trick known as the buzzsaw. It was created by magician Horace Golden. Leone's inspiration for it was to explore what would happen if the trick wasn't performed correctly, and that's how we ended up getting one of the most brutal kills in horror. Samantha Scaffidi's character Victoria ends up severely disfigured after her run-in with Art, courtesy of him eating her face. Practical effects go a long way into making Samantha appear grotesque. But did you know that thanks to that, she was blind for most of her time on set? It was only during breaks that she was allowed to take off her one fake eye, and her vision was limited to seeing out of a small hole. For someone who didn't get a lot of screen time in the second movie, Casey Hartnett's role is the most talked about. Allie's kill was one of the most memorable kills in the second film, and it was also the one that took the longest to film. Allie's entire murder was shot over a 5-day period. The behind-the-scenes footage for that scene is truly something, especially when you take in the bewildering sight of David Thornton, sans mask, in full costume, laying into Casey Hartnett. Another lady who deserves to be mentioned is Lauren Lavera, who seems to be born for the role of Sienna Shaw. As evidenced by the footage we saw in Terrifier 2, Sienna's role involves a lot of physicality. Thankfully, Lavera is skilled in Taekwondo, boxing, and other martial arts, which enables her to perform her own stunts. Damien Leone has gotten a lot of flack for the treatment of women in the Terrifier franchise. Lots of critics refer to the movie as largely misogynistic. And you can't help but think that way when you think about the ways in which art kills the female characters. It feels personal, as opposed to the male ones. Leone even went so far as to say that he invented Sienna Shaw so the audience could root for her, claiming that she is his favorite character of the franchise. Damien said he didn't mean for the movie to be political, as he just wanted to make something that was fun and scary. Also, it's hard to make something these days without people getting offended, so yeah. Did you know that there's a real-life parallel to the first time Tara and Dawn encounter Art on the street? It's a fun little anecdote shared by David himself. One night, he heard two women arguing outside his trailer. Bored, he went to check it out, completely forgetting that he was in the classic Art the Clown getup, complete with blood. The sight scared the women so much, David and the set got the cops called on them. 15 of them to be exact. The cops and David got a good laugh out of the entire thing, and even took pictures to commemorate. Another fun fact about the movie is about Mike Levy. Remember the exterminator in Terrifier whom Art gleefully decapitates? He is the Staten Island clown who is responsible for starting the whole scary clown craze years ago. Bro was just clowning around and accidentally became part of honky lore. David and Damien worked closely on developing Art's character, and even brainstormed the kills together. This is funny considering how much David got grossed out when he had to pull out the intestines from the bodies of his victims. To quote, "They were cold, slimy, and gross." Did you know that Terrifier 2's runtime is longer than that of Star Wars Return of the Jedi by 7 minutes? Crazy, right? Did you know that the Terrifier, where Sienna and Jonathan had their showdown with Art, was not a set built specifically for the scene? Fright Factory is a notorious haunted house attraction in Philadelphia, and it was selected for filming because it had everything they needed for the movie. That, and they saved quite a bit of money by renting out the location. And that brings us to the end of this video. There's no doubt that Terrifier has become something of a cult classic over the years, and it's truly fascinating watching a franchise develop right before your eyes. I've always wished that I had been cognizant in the times when the Scream movies were being aired, just to see what the experience was like. But thanks to Terrifier, I am getting to be part of that experience. If there's anything I missed or a fact that you would like to share, please leave a comment below. Until next time, friends, bye.